the only identity that really matters is our identity in Christ.
We can treasure our family in so many ways. How do you go about treasuring your family and building up your spiritual identity and who you are as a family through food and hospitality and serving others?
Well, the last chapter of the book really takes a deep dive into identity. And our last event of our year of our little experiment of what gatherings would be like for, once a month, it landed on the Super Bowl. And so we were all watching the game, and, I'm using the word watching loosely here because it's more about the,
it was on while you were hanging out.
Right. It's like more about the fun food, and for us, the commercials are always fun. And so that year, there was a commercial with Paul Harvey and narrating it. Do you remember Paul Harvey, the famous news guy? And it was called "So God Made a Farmer." And through that commercial, he was going through how God uses farmers to take care of the earth that he so beautifully created. And it was so touching for our family.
This commercial.
Yeah. I'm sure if you Google it, it'll pop right up, it was for some truck company.
Right.
If I remember correctly. But anyway, the whole room got quiet, and afterwards we all talked about that was our favorite commercial. It just really saw who the American farmer was, and it valued them. And it just kind of led to a discussion of identity, because that night we were kind of celebrating being Americans watching the Super Bowl. And then we kind of got to celebrate being a farm family because of that commercial. But then as we continued talking that night, and then as we wrote that chapter, we really wanted to focus on the only identity that really matters is our identity in Christ. Because as I was sharing with you earlier, your location in life can change. I very unexpectedly moved to California 3 years ago, and here I'd been a Midwest girl my whole life.
Right.
Or your health can change, or we're living in a time in America where things are changing so rapidly that if we are placing our identity on anything but our faith in Christ, it's not a solid rock to be building our identity on.